Hi. Oh my god, I suck so much. Yep, I'm back. Again? I'll admit there are many reasons in my life as to why I am not uploading that much. And I would love to explain myself, but I'm not going to. Purely because A, I'm too lazy to do that, and B, it just sounds like excuses. You know, I'm here right now. It's a really weird feeling to actually be doing something like this again and to show my face. Because I don't really do that a lot, to be honest. I will be releasing 3 videos. Why 3? Well, good question. It's because of Instagram, thanks to my little OCD. You know how like Instagram pages are like 3 posts wide? I happen to make 3 songs. So that brings me to today. I'm really excited to share how I made my songs and how I go about things and the story behind these songs. But yeah, let's get into it. This is how I made Sword. Live by the sword. Die by the sword. So before I actually go into the session and show you how I made it, I would like to kind of explain the story, you could say, or like the reasoning behind this song. And I'll be doing the same thing for the other 2 songs as well, but I feel like it's really important to understand what the song is about and what it means to me before I actually break it down even more. It started out when I was kind of like in a creative hole, you could say, where I just did not feel like doing anything. I almost gave up, to be honest. Music as a whole, I just didn't want to do it anymore, I think. And then there was a stage where I just felt really bad. Like I felt like whatever I was doing was not working, or whatever the things that I was making, it just wasn't good enough. Toxic personality just came through and just wouldn't let me finish anything. Gave myself a bit of therapy and just tried to work through that issue. That's when I realized that what I'm doing, not many people are doing. I should really appreciate what I've got and to not waste it, because it is, after all, something that a lot of people can't do, and I should just keep at it. Yeah, that's what this song was really about. I was just working on a random beat, and then I came across, you know, some samples, like specifically drum samples, and then made this really cool sounding beat. And I just figured, you know what, I still have it. You know, I still feel pretty good about what I make, and to make it more challenging too, I'm not really much of a rapper as well, as a lot of you can tell. I wanted to rap on this song just so I can kind of like challenge myself even more. Like, I'm usually a singer. I'm not even a good singer. It's just the fact that I did that to basically make it harder for myself, and in the end, the result it was a lot more satisfying. This song really, in a way, it's very important to me. Like, it really helped me out a lot mentally, because I am not a very confident person. I suck with this stuff, like when it comes to discipline and motivation. I'm all over the place with that stuff, and this song in a way kind of saved me. It did save me, and you know, it's just like, it felt good knowing that I've made an official start with something that I want to grow into. It really broke down those barriers for me, you know? And ever since then, like, you know, I've been a lot more appreciative of my own work. Every single beat, even if it sounds trash, I'll listen to it and think, yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'm not regretting everything that I make. Unlike before, I'll make it, then 2 weeks later, I'll hate the crap out of it. Now it's just like, I like my stuff. This song is overall just about me breaking through that insecurity, turning this talent, you could say, this skill set into a weapon that I can use in the industry. Help me fight for the thing that I really want to achieve. Like, through the lyrics as well, like I'm basically talking in the third person to myself, telling myself that, you know, just push through and keep going. You know, in the end, it's gonna work out. Just don't feel so shit. But that's basically the story behind Sword. It's a very important song to me. Yeah, I really appreciate what it's done for my mentality. But other than that, let's get into the session. So, where do I start? As you can see, there's a few layers to get through. These are all my vocals over here, but we won't talk about that stuff, because vocals, for me personally, especially it being my own voice, we'll just skip that, because I don't want to talk about that. I naturally hate my voice, so I don't want to listen back to it just by itself. Actually, with all of my songs too, I always start with the drums. I don't know why. It's just hearing the beat and hearing the rhythm. It like inspires me on what the melody should be and how I should sing it and how everything is arranged. And I don't know, just drums for me have always been like a really big thing, you know? So I was looking for some drum samples and I happened to stumble across like these really heavy hitting hard drums. I took those samples, I just put it in the beat pad over here, and I played it out, and it ended up sounding like this really cool, like old school yet new school kind of like drum beat that was just so heavy hitting, and I loved it. And of course that happened. Yep. It's a curse when you're making big songs where it just crashes your computer constantly. Yeah, just like really rough, you know, there's some drums going left and right, and it just, yeah, no, it was a bop. And then after that as well, I added in some guitar, because obviously guitar is a really easy thing to work with for me. Like, you know, it's a really creatively creating a melody, you could say, and some leads and stuff. And no, guitar always sounds naturally good. What was next after that was like these kind of these plucks, you could say. I had like some guitar on the left and right. They like harmonize it a little bit. So if I just put that with the drum beat. That's the main lead tempo guitar, you could say. So it has like that delay to it to like add a bit of swing. That melody right there was like, yeah, I knew that was gonna be it. The next thing was definitely the bass. You know, it's really nice to hear bass with your tracks, because it makes it sound a whole lot more out there, you know. So, and I use this Dwilly sample that I have been using for a lot of my songs purely because it's really easy to use. I just chuck it in a sampler and then play it out, and it always sounds pretty good all the time, and it suits my style of music as well. That's the reason why I use it a lot. So if I just play it along with these drums over here. It just adds that depth, you know. So like, yeah, I really like having that in there. And then the next thing after that was actually another instrument that is obviously very, very live, and same as the guitar. I use this piano that's behind the camera over here, plugged into this machine over here, and then into the computer. And I like to play out actual piano for like a lot of my songs too. And I have like this really weird thing where I add a flanger to the piano to make it sound a lot more retro and a bit more synthwave, you could say. I love stuff that sounds like that, and the piano sounds like this. So yeah, it sounds very tragic, like my life. Yeah, pretty much. Actually, another thing down here, this is another live instrument that I didn't expect myself to be using for a song like this. So I actually used a ukulele for this song. Like, I plugged it in, like the one that I've got is like, it's electric too, so you can plug it straight into the computer. I played it out, I play like this plucking pattern, and then like what I did, I add in like a step effects. That's with the step effects. So it has like kind of that glitchy kind of like feel to it, which it really adds to the swing. So yeah, this is a synth that I've got from Serum. Again, adds more like groove to it. Eerie kind of like synth that just gives it more of a depressing and lost feeling to it. And then we also have this also like kind of like plucked synth too to go with everything else. Yeah, so again, a groove thing, but it adds bounce to the song, you could say. So like it helps it, like that synth, even though it sounds sad, lends itself more to the actual drum beat itself to like help it have that, like, you know, kind of like grooves into the next stanza, you could say. So that really helps out with that stuff. This is the main synth for the chorus. So yeah, I chose that sample because I loved how lost it sounded, if that makes sense. It's the embodiment of how I was feeling before I made this track, was the fact that it sounded like a lost voice, and I think it was just perfect for, like, you know, what it was really. Even though, like, it's the lead, it's kind of like buried behind my vocals, you could say, but the fact that it's there and it helps support everything, it just, yeah, it made a lot of sense to put it in there. Strings? Oh yeah, dude, yes, don't get me started on the strings. Strings for me are a hack, it's a cheat. I put it in everything and it just adds so much emotion, especially when you have, like, the cellos done right. It just makes everything sound so much better. I mean, come on, seriously? Like, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, I think in terms, like, the actual whole song, that is, like, the main, like, that's the whole song done. But I wanted to do something different for the start, purely because I wanted it to feel like as if, like, this is like a grand reopening, you know, this is the new me. Really bad phrasing, but it makes a lot of sense when I say it. I wanted to do something different, so what I did actually was I started off the beat slow to make it kind of like feel like it's building up more. So it started off at 70, kind of like gradually went into 90, and then cut straight into 100. What it was, I obviously started off with these synths over here, so like it was just a layering of different pads and what have you, so I just put those all together. And then you have this one, which is the main, like, pad, you could say, that adds a lot of breath to it. So you got that. And the main thing about the start, though, was the guitars. There's 3 different pluckings of guitar that make it sound like one guitar, but like a lot more complicated. But with that intro done, I had to transition it into the main stuff, and I figured the only way to do that, since it's like a very different thing, is to basically just glitch it into the beat, you could say. So I wanted it to sound like a record vinyl. The needle just goes off the edge, and now it just cuts into this whole new thing. And the way I did that really was just a combination of like white noise, these vinyl scratches and what have you, automations and of like different volumes, and just like it cutting out really randomly with left and right and center. Like, it doesn't sound amazing, but like it's enough to help transition it into the next part.
Standing on the edge of a knife, and that's life. Granting wishes till the end of time. That's the price of wanting more in every.
And that's when my cringy vocals come in. A lot of birds. But that is how I made Sword. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my crap. But yeah, I will see you in the next one, where I will be showing you how I made Please Kitten, my most catchy song ever. Anyway, peace.